Canada's men's soccer team getting set to face Uruguay in another World Cup tune-up on Tuesday. Rob Wong with you, joined by national soccer columnist for Postmedia, Derek Van Diest, who is over in Slovakia following the Canadians. And Derek, for this friendly against Uruguay, looks like head coach John Herdman is going to be fielding a squad that looks a lot like the one we're expecting to see in a few months from now at the World Cup.
Yeah, definitely. This is going to be the team that you're probably going to see in Qatar in November. The team that comes out against Uruguay. Canada is very excited about this game. This is the first time they faced an opponent of this caliber, probably in 12 years. They haven't played a team out of CONCACAF since 2018 until they played Qatar on Friday. Qatar is in the World Cup as the host team, and Canada played really well in that game and really dominated that game. But I think that game probably showed more about Qatar than it did about Canada. I think it showed that the hosts really are going to be in trouble at the World Cup, and they're just there just because they're hosting. But the Canadians believe that they can compete with among the best in the world. And Uruguay is one of the best in the world. They've won the World Cup twice. They've been the South American champions 15 times. They have world-class players on their team, players playing in Real Madrid, in Barcelona, in Liverpool, Tottenham, you just name it. They got world-class talent on that team. So the Canadians are really excited. They believe they're the best team in CONCACAF by winning the qualification. CONCACAF qualification, finishing ahead of the United States and ahead of Mexico. But they believe that they're one of the best teams in the world, and this test on Tuesday will actually prove whether or not they're right.
All right, let's get to some injury notes, and got to begin with Alphonso Davies, who limped off the field on Friday against Qatar. Will he be ready for Tuesday?
Yeah, Alphonso Davies is good to go. Fortunately for Canada, they've had 3 training sessions between those 2 games. Alphonso Davies looked great today. He was running up and down the field, and after the game, there's a bunch of local school kids ready for him. They were excited to see Alphonso Davies, which is really, really rare for a Canadian soccer player to be in a different country and have kids excited to see him. And it was quite the moment to see all those kids just wanting to take pictures and just be around Alphonso Davies. He's going to be ready to go. He's obviously going to be a big part of this team going forward to the World Cup. And he plays these players. He plays these type of players week in and week out with Bayern Munich. So he's used to this, but he's ready to go. And it'll be interesting to see. He was supposed to play 55 minutes the last game, and he played 60 before limping off. It'll be interesting to see whether he plays the whole game here against Uruguay.
Meanwhile, Tejon Buchanan hasn't appeared in a game for Canada in quite some time due to a hamstring injury that he suffered in the preseason with Club Brugge in Belgium back in June. Is he finally ready to make his return?
Yes, he is. Tejon Buchanan is an up-and-coming star for Canada. This is a guy that 12 months ago, not a lot of people knew who he was. He was playing in the MLS for the New England Revolution. He came and joined the Canadian men's national soccer team, the senior team, after doing well with the under-20 team. And he just became a star, and his star is rising very quickly. He moved to Club Brugge in Belgium this year, where he was hoping to have a big year, but picked up that hamstring injury in preseason. He said he didn't think it was bad as it was, so he thought he'd be back in a couple of weeks, but it just never healed. It never kept getting better, and Club Brugge was really careful with him. They know the talent they have on their team, and really Canada had to negotiate to have him here at this camp, and John Herdman had to negotiate with the doctors and the medical people and the coaching staff at Club Brugge, because the last thing they want to do is help him get through a rehabilitation process, only to have himself get hurt here playing for Canada. So if we see Tejon Buchanan tomorrow, it'll be maybe 15 to 20 minutes, depending how it feels, because it'll be his first time back on the field since that injury.
Well, like you said, should be an exciting game between Canada and Uruguay in this World Cup tune-up. As always, you can find Derek's work at Postmedia, and you can find him on Twitter at Derek Van Diest.